The Catholic University of Leuven was considered the largest, oldest and most prominent university in Belgium. The University of Leuven was founded in 1425 by John IV, Duke of Brabant, and approved by a papal bull of Pope Martin V. It flourished for hundreds of years as the most prominent university in what would become Belgium, and one of the more prominent in Europe. During the French rule over Belgium in the French Revolutionary Wars, the French Republic closed the university in 1797. After Belgium was joined to the United Kingdom of the Netherlands, the State University of Leuven was founded in 1816, lasting until 1835. In 1834, a few years after Belgium had gained its independence, the separate Catholic University of Mechelen was founded. This new Roman Catholic university moved its seat to Leuven and took the name Catholic University of Leuven, seeing itself as a refounding of the older University of Leuven. This claim to continuity with the older institution was not recognized at law, with Belgium's highest court ruling that the two institutions were different foundations. Nonetheless, the Catholic University of Leuven is very frequently identified as a continuation of the older institution. In 1968, the Catholic University of Leuven split to form two institutions: Katholieke Universiteit Leuven, Dutch-speaking, situated primarily in Leuven, and Université Catholique de Leuven, French-speaking, situated primarily in nearby Leuven-la-Neuve. This entry deals with the historic universities, 1425 to 1797 and 1834 to 1968. For the current successor institutions and the separate development since 1968, see the individual articles linked above. Timeline. The old university in the 15th century, the city of Leuven, with the support of John IV, Duke of Brabant, made a formal request to the Holy See for a university. Pope Martin V issued a papal bull dated the 9th of December 1425 founding the university in Leuven as a studium generale. In its early years, the university was modeled on those of Paris, Cologne and Vienna. The university flourished in the 16th century due to the presence of famous scholars and professors such as Adrian Florence, Juan Boines, Desiderius Erasmus, Johannes Molanus, Joan Louise Vives, Andreas Vesalius, Ferdinand Verbiest and Gerardus Mercator. The state university, after the French Revolutionary Wars by the Treaty of Campo Formio, this region was ceded to the French Republic by Austria in exchange for the Republic of Venice. Once formally integrated into the French Republic, a law from 1793 which mandated that all universities in France be closed came into effect. The University of Leuven was abolished by decree of the Département of Dieppe on October 25, 1797. The region next became part of the United Kingdom of the Netherlands, and William I of the Netherlands founded a new university in 1816 in Leuven as a state university, the Catholic University. In 1830, Belgium was formed as a new nation out of the southern provinces of the Netherlands. Belgian bishops founded a new Roman Catholic university in 1834 at Mechelen. In 1835, the recently founded Catholic University of Mechelen moved to Leuven and changed its name to Catholic University of Leuven, where the state university had been closed. This is nowadays generally seen as a refounding of the old University of Leuven, although the Belgian Court of Cassation has ruled that the two entities are legally distinct, and at the time, liberals protested the attempts of the new Catholic University to usurp the heritage and identity of the historical University of Leuven. In 1914, during World War I, Leuven was looted by German troops. They set fire to a large part of the city, effectively destroying about half of it. The library was lost, as well as about 300,000 books, about 1,000 incunabula, and a huge collection of manuscripts, such as the Easter Island tablet bearing Rongo text E. In the early stages of the war, Allied propaganda capitalized on the German destruction as a reflection on German culture. The split from its beginning in 1834, the Catholic University of Leuven provided lectures only in French. Latin was sometimes used in the theology faculty, but it was essentially a French-language institution. Lectures in Dutch, the other official language of Belgium and the language spoken in Leuven, began to be provided in 1930. In 1962, in line with constitutional reforms governing official language use, the French and Dutch sections of the university became autonomous within a common governing structure. Flemish nationalists continued to demand a division of the university, and Dutch speakers expressed resentment at privileges given to French-speaking academic staff and the perceived disdain by the local, French-speaking community for their Dutch-speaking neighbors. At the time, Brussels and Leuven were both part of the officially bilingual and now defunct province of Brabant, but unlike Brussels, Leuven had retained its Dutch-speaking character. Tensions rose when a French-speaking social geographer suggested in a televised lecture that the city of Leuven should be incorporated into an enlarged bilingual Greater Brussels region. Mainstream Flemish politicians and students began demonstrating under the slogan Leuven Vlaams, while in Butin, student demonstrations escalated into violence throughout the mid-60s. Student unrest fueled by the history of discrimination against Flemings eventually brought down the Belgian government in February 1968. The dispute was resolved in June 1968 by turning the Dutch-language section of the university into the independent Katholieke Universiteit Leuven, which remained in Leuven. The French-speaking university, called the Université Catholique de Leuven, was moved to a greenfield campus called Leuven-le-Neuve, farther south in the French-speaking part of the province of Brabant. Acrimony about the split was long-lasting. Nowadays, however, research collaborations and student exchanges between the two sister universities take place with increasing frequency. Library. The holdings of the modern Catholic University of Leuven date back to 1834. Its main collections were held in a building on Naamstraat dating back to the 17th century. It should be noted that it was only the collections of the university since its refounding that were lost. The manuscripts and most valuable works of the pre-revolutionary old university were transported to the National Library in Paris, while the bulk of the holdings was transferred to the Central School of Brussels, the official legal successor of the old University of Leuven. The library of the Central School of Brussels had about 80,000 volumes, which then became part of the Library of Brussels, and then the future Royal Library of Belgium, where they are still found. The extensive archives of the old university are now part of the State Archives in Belgium. Following the destruction of the library, a new library building was constructed on the MGR Le Giuseppe line. It was designed by the American architect Whitney Warren in a neo-Flemish Renaissance style, and built between 1921 and 1928. Its monumental size is a reflection of the Allied victory against Germany, and it is one of the largest university buildings in the city. The library's collections were rebuilt with donations from all around the world, outraged by the barbaric act which it had suffered. In 1940, during the Second German invasion of Leuven, the building largely burned down, including its 900,000 manuscripts and books. The blaze is thought to have started in an exchange of fire between the two armies, rather than a deliberate act. The building was rebuilt after the war in accordance with Warren's design. The library's collections were again restored after the war, and by the fission in 1968 had approximately 4 million books. The split of the university into separate French language and Dutch language institutions in 1968 entailed a division of the Central Library holdings. This was done on the basis of alternate shelf marks. This gave rise to the factoid that encyclopedias and runs of periodicals were divided by volume between the two universities, but actually such series bear single shelf marks. The building on the MGR, Le Giuseppe line is now the Central Library of the Catholic University of Leuven. Notable alumni. For post-1968 alumni, see Catholic University of Leuven. The Université Catholique de Leuven. Jan Standonk, priest and reformer, master of the Collège Montaigu in Paris. Adrian Flores Wonbo Ines, Pope Adrian VI, Desiderius Erasmus, humanist. Gerard Mercator, cartographer. Andreas Vesalius, father of modern anatomy. Rember Dodones, botanist. William Allen, English cardinal of the Roman Catholic Church. Justus Lipsius, humanist. Leonardus Lessius (1554–1623), ethics and economy. Cornelius Otto Juhanson, father of Jansenism. Charles Nerinkex, founder of Sisters of Loreto. Bernard du Bus de Guisines, law, politician, ornithologist and paleontologist. Theodore Schwann, developer of cell theory and discoverer of Schwann cells. Hippolyte van Peen, physician and playwright, wrote the lyrics of the Flemish anthem, De Vlaams Leeuw. Charles Louis Joseph Xavier de la Vallée-Poussin, a mineralogist and geologist. Auguste Marie-François Binet, Prime Minister of Belgium and winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. Father Patrick Francis Healy, President of Georgetown University, first Jesuit priest of African-American ancestry, first American of acknowledged African-American ancestry to earn Ph.D. Antanas Baranauskas, Polish-Lithuanian poet. Arthur Verendiel, civil engineer. Emil Joseph Dillon, linguist, author and journalist. Albrecht Rodenbach, poet. Alban van Hoenack, a Catholic theologian and biblical scholar. Charles Jean de la Vallée-Poussin, mathematician who proved the prime number theorem. Edgar Senguier, director of the Union Minière du Okatanga. Franz van Corauwelaert, politician. Jean-Baptiste Janssens, S.J., 27th Superior General of the Society of Jesus. Wen Wenhao, founder of modern Chinese geography. Georges Lemaitre, astronomer, priest and proposer of the Big Bang Theory. Fulton J. Sheen, American Archbishop, television personality, and writer. Rafael Angel Calderon Guardia, physician, social reformer, President of Costa Rica 1940–1944. Jerome de Souza, S.J., educationist, member of Indian Constituent Assembly, and AMP, 4 times Indian delegate to the UNO. Albert Claude, medical doctor and cell biologist, winner of Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine. Saint Alberto Hurtado, Chilean Jesuit priest, social worker and writer. Canonized in 2005. Victor Delhez, engraver and artist. Hendrik Elias, Flemish nationalist, Quisling. Maurice Anthony Bio, Belgian-American physicist and the founder of the theory of poroelasticity. Elie Couteau Endegrel, founder of Rexism, Quisling. Jean-Charles Noyer Doppers, law, diplomat, businessman. Dominique Pire, won Nobel Peace Prize for helping refugees in post-World War II Europe. Herman van Breda, founder of the Hissel Archives. André Molitor, law, private secretary of Baudouin I of Belgium. Otto von Habsburg, heir to the thrones of Austria-Hungary, politician and writer. Qian Zhuling, saved nearly 100 lives during World War II. Tang Yuhin, Chinese oncologist. Peter de Sommer, first rector of the Catholic University of Leuven. Christian de Duve, Nobel Prize in Medicine 1974, for his discoveries concerning the structural and functional organization of the cell. Anton van Wilderode, Flemish activist and writer. Frans van Coetzem, linguist. Asta Berkhoff, Flemish writer. Charles Mertens de Wilmars, psychiatrist, professor at Harvard Medical School. Malachi Martin, Irish writer. Antoine Vergote, also known as Antoine Vergote, Catholic priest, theologian, philosopher, psychologist and psychoanalyst. Tommaso Fierage, Archbishop of Armagh. Jan Zaprudnik, Belarusian-American historian and poet. Geza Vermes, religious historian and translator into English of the Dead Sea Scrolls. H. Narayan Murthy, Indian psychologist, philosopher and scholar known for behavioral therapy. Jose J. Pripyat, a chemist, and laureate of the 1967 Franke Prize. Gustavo Gutierrez, Peruvian-Dominican theologian, founder of Liberation Theology. Michael Holy, Irish Jesuit, co-founder of the Irish School of Ecumenics. Adolphe Gachet, theologian. Jacques Tamanaro, philosopher, 1977 laureate of the Franke Prize. Camilo Torres, Colombian priest and guerrillero. Lucira Garay, French philosopher, linguist, psycholinguist, psychoanalyst, cultural theorist, feminist. Graduated in 1954. André Goffo, scientist, participated to the yeast's DNA code discovery. Abdul Qadir Khan, Pakistani metallurgist, considered to be the father of Pakistan's nuclear weapons program. Jacques van Wypersel de Stryho, private secretary of the King of Belgium. Nuzikal Bond, notable Zairian politician. Baron Piet van Weyenberger, economics, president of De Warond. Eric de Klerk, physician and biologist. Bernard Lietaer, economist and author. Arthur Zulens, chemistry and economics, businessman. Afif Safia, Palestinian diplomat, ambassador to the Russian Federation. Herman van den Berghe, founder of the Centrum voor Menselijke Veiligheid. Herman van Rompuy, Belgian statesman and Prime Minister of Belgium, appointed as the first President of the European Council in November 2009. Jan Lauwerens, cognitive neuroscientist, poet. Father Robert S. Smith, American Catholic priest, author, and educator. Renato Prado Ropeza, Mexican writer and semiotician. Pierre Leconte, a Belgian urbanist. Auguste Boudet, politician. Paul Beitabir, medical doctor and politician.